Okay, so we've looked at drop shots from the back, stun balls from the middle, quite a few on the volley, on the middle as well. Natural progression, let's bring you into the front, because again, that's when you're going to get opportunities to play that drop shot a bit more often than, say, back and middle. But there is, again, some key fundamentals here and a lot of little common faults that I want to try iron out or give you the idea to work on. So the first one we're going to do is your drop shot off a traditional boast. You know, it's your first combination you're looking for. You forced it deep, your opponent boasts. Can you get onto that ball relatively early and put in a straight drop shot? So we're trying to take away any disguise. I'm not interested in disguise right now. I'm looking for this idea of locking your opponent down. Someone in the last year, 18 months, who's done phenomenally well with this is Paul Cole, I think. The way he gets attacked or taken into the front, whether it's from a straight drop or boast or get in, and he's just developed this ability to lock his opponent down. You see it coming. It's not the most glamorous shot in the world, but boy, the effect it has is unbelievable. His opponent just has nowhere to go with it, glues it. Not only him, there's a multitude of players that come to mind that play this well, but someone like him has really mastered the shot in the last, say, 18 months or so. So, because you're closer to the front wall, that ball's going round, you're going to be up a little bit closer to that front wall. The touch side of things comes into things a little bit more. So you are going to be able to play around with touch. You know, up until now, I haven't really mentioned touch on the drop shot, and it's definitely worth mentioning. So the other key element of this is keeping it very simple, but you can only keep it simple with great positioning. So I'm going to encourage you to get into a really good position. Again, linking Paul Cole, what he does so well is he gets into such a good position. He actually has his racket out this side of his body a lot, but because he's got those great leg strength, and again, other players are phenomenal at this, you know, the players are able to get in a position where they just move their racket straight and that ball just glues to the sidewall. So again, a lot of the focus on this is the ability to go front wall and floorboards. You know, we actually don't want much shape in the racket necessarily, but prioritizing a really good position, and in a way, I'm exaggerating here, but you know, you never really want to be like that stepping, but it's not a million miles away. I would say it's a bit more, it's there. So I'm going to give you a quick little demo on that first one. So in there, I'm going, and even if I've missed that sidewall by a bit and actually exaggerated coming away from it, I've got no problem with that. If you see my base there, it's a very strong, very stable base. And actually where that back foot is, I think, is fundamental. So watch that back foot closely if you can. So it's there. See how connected it feels. It's not out here at all. Okay, it's definitely not there, of course, but it's quite a close little link to where that shot is. And if I can get that positioning right, fundamentally, the execution of my technique becomes really simple. So I'd really prioritize that. So I'm just going to grab the ball quick. So again, a couple more on the back end. I might make them bounce before the sidewall. So even from there, and if you notice, I'm missing that sidewall each time. One more, back foot, just clip there. Just got lucky with that one. But if you watch that back foot again, it's behind the ball, strong position. And a big common fault for amateurs is when they go into the boast, they get almost too side on, that back foot's over that side, it brings in a weird tight position with the racket. Because my position was really good, I thought, once I got into my hit, this just moved really straight. Again, there's a little bit of touch in there, but I'm still conscious it's quite deliberate and pushed in. But I think if you can start with a short swing, great positioning, that drop becomes really good to play. I'm going to show you a couple on the forehand. And straight away, you might notice the difference with my body position. I'm going in on that right foot a lot more. So again, comes in. And even though the right foot goes in, everything still feels quite squared up in a way. One more. And you see how I'm locking my opponent down. I don't really care that they can see that or get to it, because what are they realistically going to do with that? It's going to be really tough to do much with it. But again, this forehand is linked into good positioning. I've not mentioned it, but hopefully it's pretty obvious how much work I'm doing with my knees. I'm getting so low. I'm trying to get my hips onto the level of the tin, right down to there somewhere. And if I can prioritize this low position, do you know what? The technical execution is not a priority, weirdly enough. It's all to do with good positioning. It then opens up the ease of the technique. I'm gonna show you a couple more that aren't gonna quite hit that third wall. Again, I'm gonna really link in my right leg. So, ball goes there. There we go, take that one nice and tight. But if you notice how simple my technique is, it's out here, it's out in front of me, and I'm just working my racket as straight as possible. One more quick feed, low position. First tin of the day. But you can get that sense that even though I tinned it, I was in a very good position, and over time, the odds would say I'm gonna be more successful than not in there. Look, over time you start to add in subtleties, and you might go big to small, or you might go small to hit out and hit to the back. For now, keep it simple. Even if it is telegraphed, telegraph it, but play quality shots like that, or play quality shots like those top PSA players, because it doesn't matter how telegraphed it is. If you're prioritizing the position, prioritizing a simple technique, front wall floorboards glued and locked down, you know, your opponent's not going to do much. If they get there, they're only going to be able to use that part of the racket, they're only going to be able to scrape it off. The smart players are going to look for that follow-up combination. So they'll play that shot in, get in, step up, cover there, and then even if they get it back, boom, you're stepping them back into that next corner. So for me, it's such a common error, that boast, or even, not even a boast, even if someone's played a bad straight drop themselves, all of those bits we've talked through there are so essential for being successful, for taking that ball in straight and short off that relative short ball itself.